Stop what you're doing and look at your hands. Are they working for you? Or are you working for a paycheck? Most people think Warren Buffett's billions came from luck or genius. They think he had some secret advantage. But they're wrong. The Oracle of Omaha wasn't built in a day, and it wasn't built on luck. It started with a 6-year-old boy and a six-pack of Coca-Cola. It started with a mindset that saw what others ignored. While other kids were playing, young Warren was studying the math of profit. He bought that six-pack for 25 cents and sold each bottle for a nickel. He didn't just make 5 cents profit. He discovered the fundamental law of capitalism. Wealth is built on the spread between cost and value. Robert Kiyosaki says the poor work for money, while the rich have money work for them. At 6 years old, Buffett was already making his capital work. By age 11, he took his first leap into the stock market. He bought 3 shares of Citi Service Preferred at $38 per share. The price dropped to 20 centime, and his sister panicked. He felt the fear that paralyzes 99% of investors. When the price recovered to $40, he sold immediately. He felt relieved. Then he watched the stock climb to $200. This was his first $1 million lesson. Patience is the currency of the wealthy. If you can't control your emotions, you can't control your money. Do you realize what this means for you? Most people sell their dreams too early because they're afraid of temporary setbacks. Warren didn't stop there. By 14, he was delivering newspapers across Omaha. But he wasn't just throwing papers on porches. He was building a system, a cash flow machine. He was making real money as a teenager. Be honest, what were you doing at 14? While other kids burned allowances on candy, Buffett did something dangerous. He saved, he stacked, he waited. No flashy car, no designer clothes. He bought 40 acres of farmland in Nebraska. At 15, he was a landlord. Someone else worked the land, and he collected the rent. This is the shift from active income to passive income. This is the secret the school system refuses to teach you. You're taught to be a good employee, to trade your hours for dollars. But your hours are limited, therefore your wealth is capped. Buffett broke that cap before graduating high school. He understood that true freedom comes from owning assets that grow while you sleep. Think about your current situation. Are you building your own empire, or are you laying bricks for someone else's? Every dollar you spend on liabilities is a seed that will never grow. Every dollar you invest in assets is a soldier fighting for your future. Young Warren was building an army. He was obsessive, disciplined, and relentlessly focused. He read every book on investing in the Omaha Public Library, not once, but twice. Success isn't about brilliant flashes of insight. It's about the accumulation of knowledge over time. Most people want the billionaire status, but they don't want the billionaire's work ethic. They want the result without the process. But the process is where the power lives. The process is where character is forged. Buffett's early years were a masterclass in delayed gratification. He was willing to live differently today so he could live freely tomorrow. He didn't care about looking rich. He cared about being rich. There's a massive difference. Today, we're obsessed with the appearance of success. We buy things we don't need to impress people we don't like. Buffett ignored the noise. He followed the signal. And the signal led him to a man who would change his life forever. That man was Benjamin Graham, the father of value investing. But to meet him, Warren had to leave Omaha. He was about to learn that numbers tell stories, and those stories can make you the wealthiest person on earth. Most people look at a stock price and see a number on a screen. Warren Buffett looks at a stock and sees a living, breathing business. This perspective was forged at Columbia Business School. He found a mentor who would become his compass, Benjamin Graham. Graham taught him that the market is like a manic neighbor named Mr. Market. Some days he's euphoric and overcharges. Other days he's terrified and sells for pennies. Buffett learned the most powerful secret in finance. Price is what you pay, value is what you get. Understand the difference, and you'll never be poor. He adopted the cigar butt strategy. Companies so cheap they were discarded, with one last puff of profit left. It wasn't glamorous. It wasn't trendy. It was math. And Warren treated the data like oxygen. Kobe took the same shot 1,000 times before sunrise. Buffett did the same. page after page, until he could see businesses in his sleep. He hunted the incompetence gap, when panic priced companies below the cash they already had in the bank. But Warren had a major flaw. He was terrified of public speaking, to the point of physical illness before presentations. Most people accept their weaknesses and call them personality traits. Buffett saw his fear as a barrier to his billions and decided to destroy it. He paid $100 for a Dale Carnegie course. He didn't just attend. He obsessed over the principles of influence and communication. Today, that $100 diploma is the only one hanging in his office. Not his Ivy League degrees, but the proof he conquered himself. If you can't communicate, it's like winking at a girl in the dark. Nothing happens. You can have all the brain power in the world, but if you can't lead, you can't scale. With his new confidence, he returned to Omaha and started a partnership. He told investors he wouldn't tell them what he was buying, only that he would beat the market. Between 1956 and 1969, he didn't just beat the market, he crushed it. He averaged 29.5% compounded annually, while the Dow barely moved. Then he met the man who would challenge his entire worldview, Charlie Munger. Munger told him buying cigar butts was a mistake for a man of his ambition. Munger's philosophy was radical. It's far better to buy a wonderful company at a fair price than a fair company at a wonderful price. This was the pivot that turned Buffett from a millionaire into a titan. He stopped looking for dying businesses and started looking for economic moats. Think of a castle. If that castle has a wide, deep moat, no enemy can breach it. Buffett began looking for businesses with brand power so strong that competitors couldn't get close. Companies like Coca-Cola and See's Candies. He realized a brand is mental real estate. If you own the consumer's mind, you own the industry's future. This requires a different kind of discipline, the courage to do nothing for years until the right opportunity appears. Buffett describes investing as a game with no called strikes. You can watch 100 pitches go by and the umpire won't call you out. You only swing when the pitch is in your sweet spot. Most investors swing at everything because they're bored or pressured by the crowd. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Without it, you're just a gambler with a spreadsheet. His discipline showed up at home too. He still lives in the same house he bought in 1958 for $500. Why? Opportunity cost. Every dollar you waste on looking rich is a dollar that can't compound for decades. People call that cheap. No, that's discipline. That's war against impulse. He was building a fortress not of stone, but of capital. And the heart of that fortress became Berkshire Hathaway. Originally a failing textile mill, a cigar butt, it became the vehicle for the greatest wealth accumulation in history. He didn't just invest in stocks anymore. He started buying entire companies. He looked for management with integrity and businesses with unbreakable economics. He was no longer just a player in the game. He was becoming the one who sets the rules. But how does a simple holding company become more powerful than most nations? The answer lies in a hidden mechanism called float. Most people think you need your own money to get rich. Warren Buffett discovered a way to use other people's money for free. It's called float, and it's the secret engine behind Berkshire Hathaway. It started with an insurance company called Geico. When you pay your insurance premium, the company doesn't put it in a vault. They hold it until you have a claim. In the meantime, that money is float. It belongs to policyholders, but Buffett gets to invest it and keep the profits. Imagine having billions of dollars in interest-free loans that never have to be paid back all at once. That's the ultimate financial superpower. But with great power comes the need for discipline. Buffett has 2 rules he follows with absolute conviction. Rule number 1, never lose money. Rule number 2, never forget rule number 1. This sounds simple, but it's the hardest thing in the world when everyone around you is getting rich on the latest hype. During the dot-com bubble, people called Buffett a dinosaur. They said the game had passed him by because he refused to buy tech stocks he didn't understand. He didn't blink. He didn't chase the crowd. He sat in Omaha, reading reports, waiting for the madness to end. When the crash came, the geniuses were wiped out. Buffett stood there with a mountain of cash, ready to buy the ruins at a discount. Be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful. These aren't just words. They're a psychological fortress. Most of you fail because you're emotionally attached to your positions. Buffett is emotionally attached to his principles. Look at his lifestyle. He's one of the richest men in history, yet he drives a modest car and lives in the same house. He stops at McDonald's every morning for breakfast. If the market's down, he orders the $2.61 meal. If it's up, he splurges on the $3.17 meal. Is he cheap? No. He's disciplined. He knows that self-discipline is the highest form of self-respect. By controlling his desires today, he ensures his freedom for 1,000 tomorrows. He refuses to let material things own him. You want the Ferrari to show people you've made it. Buffett wants the compound interest to ensure he never answers to anyone. What is true success? To Buffett, it's not the size of your bank account. It's whether the people you want to love you actually do love you. He's pledged to give away 99% of his fortune. He's not hoarding wealth, he's assigning it. That's the mindset of a legacy builder. He knows he's a temporary steward of capital. So what can you do right now? You may not have an insurance company, fine. You still have time, and time is not free. Time rewards the great and punishes the average. It does the same to your life. Stop looking for get-rich-quick schemes. Start building your moat. What's your unique advantage? Is it your work ethic? Your specialized knowledge? Your ability to stay calm while everyone else panics? Invest in yourself before you invest in any stock. As Buffett says, the best investment you can make is in your own abilities. Read the books, take the courses. Face the fears that are keeping you small. Wealth is a marathon, not a sprint. The people who win are the ones still running when everyone else has gone home. Warren Buffett is over 90 years old, and he still goes to the office with enthusiasm. He loves the process more than the prize. If you find something you love to do, you'll never work a day in your life. And if you do it with integrity, the money will follow. Don't wait for the perfect moment. The perfect moment is a myth. The only moment you have is right now. Start your compounding today, not just with your money, but with your habits, your knowledge, and your character. Be the outlier. Be the one who stayed disciplined. Be the oracle of your own life.